Hi there, my name is Cindy and I'm an account manager at POF. In this video, I will be walking you through the steps to making an ad campaign on our platform. So let's get started. First, log on to ads.pof.com. And if you haven't already created an advertising account with us, you'll want to click this Advertise Now button and register. I'm going to assume that you've already done that, so what you'll do is you're going to log in using the email and password that you used to create your account. And click Login. This will bring us to the main page on the ad platform, and we're going to click on the big green Create Campaign button. So now we're on the Create a New Campaign page. And the very first thing we have the option of doing is to name our campaign. So it's pretty simple. You'll want to name your campaign something that will reflect at a glance what your campaign is all about. And a little trick that I find works is to give your campaign a title that reflects both the offer you're promoting and the demographics you're targeting. So instead of giving a generic name such as Campaign 1, I would say to try something more specific. For example, I'll be promoting an ebook called Relationship Rewind today, and that's targeted to men in the US, and I'm going to title this campaign R, which stands for Relationship Rewind, M for male, US for the geographic target, and 25 to 30 for the age range. Next up, we have budget, and you'll see that our advertising model here is CPM, which means cost per thousand. And if you're wondering where the M is coming from, M is the Roman numeral for thousand. So this means that your bid will buy you 1,000 advertising impressions. Now you'll see that the minimum bid is 16 cents. And I'm sure you're wondering, well, why would anyone bid higher than that? And the reason is that the amount you bid determines the quality of traffic that you receive. For example, if you bid 20 cents, you'll get some really cheap traffic, but your ads will be shown to users who may have seen ads like yours 20 times already. So the quality of your traffic goes up as your bids go up. Most people are bidding between 40 to 80 cents, so you can use that as a benchmark. I'll be bidding 45 cents. Now here we have our targeting. So you'll want to click Select, and you'll see the long list of our targeting options, and these are what get advertisers really excited. Think about who would and would not be interested in the offer you're promoting. Now I'm going to start with gender, since the offer I'm promoting is geared towards men who are trying to get their ex-girlfriends back. So I'll click gender, double click on male, and click add target. And once you see your target populate in this gray box on the side, you know you've done the right thing. Next, I'm going to go back to the targeting list. I'll select age. So I want to reach guys aged 25 to 30 in this campaign. So I double click on 25, double click on 30, click add target. Next, I'll select a geographic target. So I'm going to choose the US, and please only choose one country per campaign, so that way you can know where your money is being spent. Also make sure that your ads are written in the official language of the country you're targeting. For example, we won't target Brazil with ads written in English because we want your money to be well spent on our platform. So if you want to create ads that are targeted to Brazil, then you'll want to write ads in Portuguese. Finally, I'm going to add a target based on a demographic that I don't want to reach in this campaign. So I'm going to click on the equal to drop down, and I'm going to choose is not equal to. And next, I'm going to choose marital status in the drop down menu. And I'm going to choose married, living together, and not single, not looking for this campaign. I've just decided I don't want to reach those guys this time. And that will be it for my targeting today. Now, of course, you can add much more targeting, but do note that the more you add, the more competitive your bid will need to be. So if you find that you're just not getting any traffic, you'll need to either increase your bid or loosen up your targeting. So if I decide I don't want to use a certain target anymore, I'll have to click Remove to the right of the target before I can add that type of target again. So if I choose to target all of the US, but then later decide I just want to target a specific zip code, then I'll have to remove the US target before I'm able to add a more refined target. To add a zip code, select zip code. You'll choose the country that that zip code belongs to. Choose a radius, so I'll choose 25 miles. And I'll put in the only zip code I know. And there's so many more great targeting options to test out, and I encourage you to read about them on our blog at blog.ads.pof.com. So now we're getting to the juicy part, and we're going to add a creative. And before we upload one, to start off, we'll need to give it a creative name so that we can track it down the road. So I'm going to name this creative the same name as my campaign, but throw in a -1 in there. And for future ads that I add to this campaign, I'll put in a -2, a -3, a -4, and so on. That way I can easily locate them. Below that, we have creative type. So click on the size of the ad that you'd like to run, making sure that you have an ad saved on your computer with the right size requirements. If you want to run the 310 by 110 ad, you'll notice that you don't have to add in any text below, but you will need to make sure that the ad is exactly 310 by 110 pixels in size, otherwise it won't upload. With a small ad, you have a little bit of freedom if you're a few pixels off. Now with a small ad, we'll need to add a title, so make it catchy, because this is the headline of your ad. And my example is by no means catchy, but I'll put something in like, "Miss your ex so much. Use these 3 simple steps to win her heart again." Alright, then I'll choose a file, and of course it's already on my computer. You'll want to make sure you own the images that you use, of course. And lastly, I'll put in my URL, and you'll want to make sure that your affiliate ID is in there if you are an affiliate marketer, because you want to make sure that you get the credit for all the hard work that you're doing. So back at the top, we're going to look at dates. And it's pretty simple, just set your start date. And if you only want your ads to run for a set amount of time, click on the calendar here and choose an end date. If you leave this field open, your campaign will run indefinitely. Below that, we have delivery, and here we'll enter the amount that we'd like to spend per day. So you'll want to look at your total budget and break it down to a daily budget. So the minimum that can be entered here is $5, and if you have a limitless budget, you can leave this blank. I'll set this to a $50 daily spend for this campaign. Now we have the option to distribute it right away or to distribute it evenly. And typically newer advertisers want to distribute evenly so that they can spread their daily spend throughout a 24-hour period. But for those who want to gather as much data as they can in their campaign, the ASAP option is the better choice. Here we have frequency cap, which controls the number of times that an individual POF user will see your ads during a 24-hour period. Now the minimum is 3, and there is no maximum. And you can tailor it so that it is shown a set number of times per day, per hour, or per visit. If you'd like to limit your impressions in the beginning, then choosing a low frequency cap and setting it to the per day option is beneficial. But if you're seeking more volume, then you'll want to choose the per visit option. And you may want to consider raising the cap. I'm going to set mine to 3 per day. Here we have the value of conversion, and this is a purely optional field to put the amount that you will earn each time a conversion is made. This way you can gauge your profits, but this number won't be tallied unless you've implemented our conversion tracking pixel, and we have plenty of information about that in our FAQ section and on our blog. Since it's not imperative that you put anything here, feel free to leave it blank. Now look to the bottom of the screen. And before we create our campaign, we'll want to click this box that says, "Yes, I confirm that this creative adheres to POF's advertising guidelines." And you'll see that the words are actually hyperlinked to our guidelines. And you'll really want to get familiar with these. Anytime an ad is declined, your answer will be in here. Lastly, we're going to click this box to confirm that we have read the guidelines, and then click the Create Campaign button. And voila, you've created your campaign. Now if you haven't funded your account, you'll be brought to this Manage Funding page, but if you have, you'll be brought to the main screen. And I'm sure you'll be wondering, now where did my campaign go? Well, if you don't have funding in your account, your campaign will appear under Requires Funding. So if you ever need to find your campaigns and you're not sure where they are, click these boxes. Running, paused, cancelled, requires funding. If I get really stumped, what I'll do is I'll click on Contact Us in the upper right corner, And I'll click on this hyperlink here that says Frequently Asked Questions section. That will bring me to our FAQ, which is full of answers to our most popular questions on POF. Now, if you've read this and your answer isn't in here, then click Submit a New Ticket. And this is just your place to ask whatever you'd like to ask us. In this case, I'm just asking why I'm not getting any traffic. And there you'll see that your ticket will populate under Open Tickets. Now, Ben and I are in the office between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so we'll answer your questions here. And you'll know that it's answered when you see up in the upper right-hand corner beside the Contact Us sign a white envelope icon. And there you'll see that your question was bumped down to Answered Tickets in the last 30 days. So click on the date of your question, and there you'll see our answer and your question. So this concludes our first video. I hope you found it helpful. Please don't be shy. If you need help or have questions, just reach out to Ben or I on the ad platform, or you can email us at ads@pof.com. Have a great one.